Well, hey, it's Steven, and this is Content Jefe. Think of this as a catch-up, a friendly show where we talk about the highs and lows of running a business and being a content creator. We bring you tips about what's worked for us, what hasn't worked for us, and we introduce you to some amazing people also in the creator economy, in the content creation game. So buckle up and get ready to be inspired.
Pod Sounds Cool presents Content Jefe, the podcast that helps online business owners make better content and more money. Let's Jefe up.
This episode's a really fun one. And this one, speaking of inspiration, was inspired by our recent trip to Colombia. If you didn't know, Veronica is Colombian. She
Colombiana
is a beautiful Afro-Latina that stems from the land of the Colombia.
Yes.
And we go there every year when we can to visit our family there. And we have a wonderful time. And this last experience was, we stayed there for a whole month, which is also amazing. And also one of the benefits of, working remotely or working for ourselves is that we can decide how long we take those vacations for and kind of get a little work done actually while we're on vacation. But while we were there, this time hit me heavier, and I had a deeper experience and a deeper connection. I think every time we go there, my connection with the culture there and with the people there and with the language gets a little deeper. My understanding of Spanish gets a little better. So maybe that's what it is I'm just comprehending more of what people are saying. But there are some real contrasts between Colombian culture and American culture. And I thought it'd be really fun to share some of those findings with you and tie it up in a new sort of philosophy I have, or a new way I have of describing Colombians. And it's that life is Rico. It's that saying. And actually, when we got back, I wrote "Life is Rico" with some flowers on it. And I hung the sign up in our kitchen, which I'm sure Veronica just loves. But Rico, if you didn't know, means rich. But actually, if you go to Colombia, you'll hear constantly as they do everything in life. Every person, everything is Rico. Everything is, qué rico. Rico. Sí, muy rico, mami. Just everything.
But Rico's tasty too.
Yeah, so Rico it's not rich. It's almost like rich in flavor. But you would describe somebody as rich being Rico maybe, but not really. It's more the flavors, right?
Yeah.
I was really inspired by this idea of life being Rico and the exceptional, out of this world service that you get. I'm talking customer service that you get anywhere you go in Colombia. The food, the quality and the love and the craftsmanship that every employee puts into the work that they're giving you. From, the disgruntled employee at the coffee shop, right? Or the person who's being paid the equivalent of $2 an hour to be at the hair salon, right? And we're going to get into those stories a little bit more. But I wanted to share this idea we had about the Rico life and how it relates to marketing and how it relates to business and how I think we can all use the Rico life, what would you call it? The life culture of Colombia in our own businesses to grow more and to reach more people. And so we're going to do that.
And this episode is brought to you by Martita
de Pollo.
Martita de Pollo.
And we're going to break this up basically in just I already talked about the Rico life idea a little bit. First, I wanted to start with the cultural differences between the U.S. and Colombia. So you have American here and you have a Colombian here. So what do you think some of the cultural differences are?
Oh man, there are so many. And, I've been in this country for 18 years and I get to experience Colombia once a year. So I go back and forth. And I think one of the main differences, cultural differences, is no matter how scarce the resources are there, or no matter how poor you are, no matter you struggle every day to make ends meet, but you are happy. People in Colombia are happier, and they take pride in what they do, and they do their job like really, really well, no matter what they do. If you have somebody come into your house to help you with some chores, to help you clean your house, they put that extra love in what they do, and that makes you feel like cozy inside, like you're taken care of, like that they're there for you to help you. And it can be like, what you were saying, like the hairdresser. It can be like, the bakery that you go and get your bread from every morning. They have all these little things, and they just take pride in making you feel like you are getting the VIP treatment. And it doesn't need to be a lot of work. It's just the little details that you don't get here.
Yeah.
Here it feels like it's a means to an end. We're just here to make the money, to pay the bills, and I get it. Like that's the American culture. Like, we have to pay the bills, we have to pay the insurance, we have to pay the mortgage, we have to pay rent, everything becomes just a job that I do to get money instead of something. Take pride in what I do because I'm providing a service for a person, and because I want that to make an impact, to make a good impression on that person, so they feel the love, so they feel taken care of.
It almost to me just seems like this innate cultural thing that I hope doesn't go away with younger generations, and I hope doesn't get polluted by devices and phones and smartphones and everything. And there's definitely generational differences here in America between like the millennials or ancient millennials and Gen Xers and the Gen Zs. We tend to, I think us ancient millennials tend to think of our Gen Zs as maybe a little entitled and lazy and maybe not the best work ethic. And I can say that because we have two Gen Zs, okay? But what you're getting at is really interesting because it's actually it's like this fundamental, right? It's like in the culture. It's like in their hearts. It's in their corazones. It's like in their sangre, like it doesn't matter what job you have. We all have to have jobs. We all have to support ourselves. It's just like this human connection thing. And there were visits that I had to Colombia that I thought, well, maybe it's because of the currency exchange. And I know a lot of Americans love visiting there because the dollar goes a really long way. And depending on how our two economies are with each other, sometimes you go there and the dollar is buys you a lot. It's hard not to make those comparisons when you're there as an American and say like, well, this is really cool. Like I just fed the whole family at this amazing restaurant, and it like 8 people, 10 people, and it was only $100 when you do the conversions from pesos. And I thought that had something to do with it. And I think, like I said, it was this last visit that I got hit. It wasn't that. It wasn't the fact that I was able to buy so much more there for my dollar, that we could go to the grocery store, fill up the whole grocery cart, and still only come out paying $100 as compared to about $200 here. So in my conversions, it was about half the amount of money I found with our last trip there, which is kind of interesting. If you're looking for a good place to vacation, that's a wonderful place because you're going to be able to get double the stuff for the same amount of money. It's just the little details that they put into everything. And then it's also, we had an experience with our daughter's daycare, which was the summer program at this school. And to contrast these two experiences, here in Estados Unidos, we have our daughter going to a daycare that, is this new agey kind of, it's supposed to be special Montessori style daycare, right? And we actually call it Mulchasori as a joke. Because she just brings mulch home in her shoes. And basically, if you've ever sent your child to daycare, that it's upgraded babysitting. That's basically it is. And, the girls that they hire there are just disgruntled American employees that you get anywhere else. They don't want to be there anymore than, you would want to be there, I guess, right? And so they are cute with the kids. And I'm not talking, I don't want to, insult them or talk anything bad about their business, but you just don't get that extra love, that extra attention. She comes home dirty, covered in filth, and probably didn't get a lot of intellectual stimulation, just chased her friends around. And to put things into perspective financially, it's somewhere around $1,500 a month, right? $1,600 a month, something like that. So upwards of $2,000 a month for this mediocre daycare. And also the mediocrity of it is high compared to some other daycares that we experienced. And so then we go to Colombia. And for half of the money, it was like $700 in US money, we get her into this month-long program there and this is in supposedly a very poor place in the world that's supposedly a third world country. This school was jaw-dropping. The staff was impeccable. It was clean. They had like 2 swimming pools. It took up like a whole block. Every day that she went to the school, she was greeted by this man, this wonderful actor in costumes. Someday he was a lobster, a magician, a pirate. He was an old man, a viejo. One day, playing music. They had them rollerblading. She came home exhausted. She slept better than she's ever slept before. They fed them organic food. She got to grow vegetables at this school. And again, like we're only paying them the equivalent of $700. And so not only are we paying half the amount of money for childcare, but our child is getting superior care, and it makes us feel taken care of. Oh, and they come and get her out of the car. They put her back in the car. You just drive your car up to it. You feel safe there. It's amazing. And then, you go to the restaurants, and the restaurants are just so much better, and the food is just presented. The waiters take pride. They don't just dump the food at your table. Everything's like clean. And then you go to the hair salon, and my God, you get some of the best haircuts you'll ever get. They can use a straight razor that, many barbers here are really not trained sufficiently enough to use without giving you horrible razor rash. Well, there they give you a wonderful haircut. They massage your feet. They do your nails at the same time. And again, you go out spending a lot less of the money. But the money isn't the thing. It's like, why? They're getting paid small fraction of the price. All of these employees in working for companies are getting paid a fraction of the price that the employees here are. Yet all of the employees that we interact with here in the United States are disgruntled, are shitty work ethic, don't want to be at work, have somewhere else better to get, a means to an end. This is just getting me from one place to the next place. And like, where's the love? Where's the Rico life? No wonder mental health problems are all over the place and people are just so unhappy, because life isn't Rico here. It's miserable. And we just want to, we go from one box to the next box, TikTok dropping us into insanity. I don't know. I went off on a rant, but
no, but I totally get it. We have many experiences, and I think it's been a cultural shock for us to be on the East Coast. And I'm pretty sure, like, if you have lived in the East Coast, you have experienced a little bit of, and here we have a little bit of the Southern hospitality.
Yes,
a little bit. So I imagine that, in places up north, it gets a little, more, people are more rude.
Yeah. Well,
but, when you call the AC person and they show up and they're bitter
and they're stoned,
they're on the phone, they're not paying attention to what they're doing.
What's the deal with being on the phone while you're at
work,
and while there's a customer standing next to you?
Or then, maybe you have the experience of calling like customer service for your alarm company and they hang up on you. They get mad at you. They get annoyed. Like you can sense the annoyance in their voices.
Yeah. Or have you ever walked
you're just
into
paying for something for an experience, and then you just walk out of that experience like having a bitter taste in your mouth. And what you may be wondering why we are bringing this to you, what kind of episode is this? And it's because we want you to incorporate the Rico life culture into your business, into what you do.
And it's an easy hack and an easy way
that we have made ourselves to.
Yeah. And it's an easy hack. It's an easy way that you can level up and stand out from the crowd, because there's a lot of people doing mediocre work. So when you go that extra mile, when you find that it doesn't take a lot, when you really focus on those little details and ask yourself how you can provide more of an experience for your customers, you will see an increase in sales. And we know, everyone in business, that word of mouth is still the strongest form of marketing. It's the best.
Yeah.
And that's obvious why. And it's because we're going to trust somebody's opinion, real, authentic opinion, over the opinion of somebody who's trying to sell us or from the business itself. So when you hear that, man, these people really take care of you, you just feel so safe with them, or you feel so secure with them, or you feel so cared for. So how can you care for and love and wow and give authentic caring and service to your clients in a way that would outshine the competition?
Yeah, I think it's just like being authentic and being caring and present with your interactions. If you are in this business, I'm sure you get bombarded with emails, people pitching their services to you. We get those emails daily, and we get DMs daily of people, and there are like different approaches, and it makes you that you just don't even if you need the service, even if you are in need of the support, you don't even want to deal with that person or that company. We get emails like straight out from ChatGPT. They copy the format from ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's just
the black blocks. We get that. We get emails like saying that your content pretty much sucks.
We get a lot of emails that start with insulting
Insulting
content.
What you do, and that's not a good.
That's not a good tactic.
It's not a good
actually,
tactic.
The way I would call it is oh, well, now I forgot what I called that. When something was
unsolicited.
Unsolicited, yeah. Unsolicited criticism is how they start their emails.
The unsolicited. You're already struggling, right? You don't need a reminder, especially if you're pitching to somebody that you want to sell something or that
offer your services,
or offering your services.
You probably don't want to work with somebody who's like that.
To do that. Or like pointing the flaws, or just sending a general email. It's those little details. Like the other day, I had such refreshing interaction with somebody, a copywriter, who reached out to me in the most genuine way. His interactions with me were real.
They were authentic.
They were
caring.
Customized to me. It wasn't a blast email that he was sending. I got to learn a little bit about his personal life, because we would just like drop these gems of
little pieces.
Okay, I'm gonna take my boys to swimming, and then I'll get back to you. So I would know a little bit of his personal life. Also, in one of his emails, he said, how can I help you? Even if we're not a good match, I can point you to resources or things that can help you and support you in your business. I'm a business owner as well.
There's something.
So that level of care,
there's something
really got me, and we hired him.
Yeah, and we're going to continue to work with him, because that's the kind of people that we hire, that we want to work with, and that's not very hard to do. There's something in all of this that we do online, and all of this that we do with online business. It's easy to kind of forget what we actually do. And what we actually do is we're just communicating ideas, and we're sharing energy. And we share energy no matter how woo-woo you want to get about it. We do. And you can vibe people, and you can feel people's energy. And when somebody's coming from a place of authenticity, you feel it. Like when somebody's speaking the truth, you feel it. You feel it in different parts of your body. And so people are drawn to that. So when you say, we want to take care of you, how can I help you? How can I serve you? How can I make your life better? That's your mission statement. That's your purpose. The money that you make, just like our friends in Colombia, that's secondary. We all have to work. We all get our money. And yes, you should be rich, and you do deserve to be rich and that should be the means to your end. And all of us deserve to have all the wealth in the world. And there's enough wealth in the whole world for all of us to have. But think about how that would be as if every company, if every small business, if every one of us were just trying to it's in our culture that we just do that with each other. And those places exist on earth. And sadly, in the hustle and bustle and high speed insanity of uptight Americanism, the way that it is, a lot of that is missing, which means that we're craving it so much more. So this is a really good opportunity. And I know maybe this is a little vague, a little philosophical, this episode, but I hope that it found a way into your corazón. And that really is what we're trying to do, is that we really are here to help you, and that you can feel a little bit of that authenticity from me. Because that's our goal ultimately, is to uplift people and to give them inspiration and to empower them to be creative.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is for us, is that creativity is really that unique thing that makes us all human. It's what binds us all together. And it's something that's beaten out of us when we're kids. And we all have a voice, and our voices should be shared. And it can be really scary to step in front of a microphone. It can be really scary to get in front of a camera and to start posting on social media. And so we're here to help you do that. And we're just one email away. We're right here. This is a parasocial relationship right now, but you could turn it into a real relationship. Comment right here, wherever you're listening or watching this podcast. If you didn't know, this is an audio and a video podcast. It's available on Spotify or YouTube for the video portion, where you could see Veronica occasionally slap me with a tortilla or a pollito named Martita.
Yeah. I know.
I'm not going to.
No. Don't.
I wouldn't.
Don't. Stop it.
I'm not going to.
The last thing I want to say is I want you to look at your business. No matter how small or how big your business is, I want you to look at the daily interactions that you have with your potential customers, your prospects. And I want you to put some love into those interactions. And it may be like, you don't have time to write a love letter email, but, just a few sentences of you communicating that you see them, communicating that you know and understand what they go through, the struggles that they go through, and that you want to be there to help and support. Just those lines. And I can guarantee you that will get you places, because we're all human. And we all want to be seen, and we all want to feel like we're supported, and that we're not doing this alone, that we have people on our corner cheering us on, cheering us up.
Cheering us on, yeah.
Cheering us on, and just like right there when we need them. If you approach people this way, if you take the extra mile, just to do those little details, your audience, your people. So if you take that extra step to make them feel seen and important, and that you are there to make a difference in what they do, this is going to give you a lot of good results. If not in the moment, they're going to keep you in mind, because that's what I learned with my interaction with this person who approached me online is, okay, yeah, I may not need you right now, but man, I'm going to remember what you said to me and how you were here to help me and support me in any way. So it's,
that's perfect.
That's what I wanted to share.
Leave it to the Colombian to wrap it up. Said perfectly.
Wrap it up.
The Rico life.
The Rico life.
Life is Rico. It's Rico. It tastes delicious. Everything we do is Rico. We got into business to be Rico. So be Rico.
And to do Rico for people too.
And to do Rico for people too. So
go do Rico.
Hasta la vista, jefe. We'll catch you next time.
I know.
One of these times she's getting hit with the streamer.
No.
The party streamer. That's coming your way. Ah! Ah! Oh, I thought it was the streamer.
Don't like that.
I hope that doesn't wind up in the edit.